Welcome back to Attribution, guys, and today we are at the Lowe's. Can't really see. There you go, Lowe's. And we are going to be doing something awesome. We are building our own barn doors. Welcome back, guys. Like I said, today we got our supplies here: screws, wood, glue, everything we need to build our own custom barn doors. And we'll get into why I need to do that. It's not that I want to do it. I would rather just bought doors, but it is something, a cool project that we have to do. And here's why. So the issue we have with the barn doors, basically we bought a 30-inch barn door hardware kit, which really was built for two 15-inch doors. It was great. Exactly what we wanted. 30-inch opening, and we'll have enough room to open those barn doors up. The problem came when I went to go look for doors. I just assumed that if a kit could be made for that, we could easily find doors locally here, and that wasn't the case. So as far as getting actual barn doors, it just wasn't possible. There's a lot of barn door kits that like Lowe's and Home Depot sell. There's a lot of barn doors that you can buy online that you can have shipped home, which would have been fine, but none of them make 15-inch wide barn doors. So it kind of left me in a pinch. I actually went to Home Depot or Lowe's, I forget which one, and I wanted to see if I could buy a door like this, or a door similar to this, a slab door without the hinges, without the doorknob, just like a normal, people use those doors for barn doors. We would have just painted them white, and it's not really what I wanted, but it would have worked. So they quoted me $600 a door, which is outrageous, really. It might have been a solid wood door. I don't know if it was like a core door, or, with these doors, there's only wood really on the edges and solid in the middle. It's all hollow. But regardless, that's ridiculous. $600 a door would have cost me $1,200 for both doors, plus tax, and it wasn't even an option. It was just way too expensive. Could have also bought bifold doors and took off all the hardware and modified them to the barn door hardware kit. Although I think the bifold doors are just a little bit thinner than what a typical door is. Probably would have been able to make it work though. But I had another idea, and that idea obviously was to make our barn doors, and I don't think it'll be that difficult. So let's go ahead to Master Mike's and see what we can come up with. All right, we are here at Master Mike's headquarters, and we're already kind of get started on this. So we have all of our wood. These are the shiplap planks that are going to be in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Shiplap planks going to be in the middle. We glued them up and threw some clamps on to hold them together. They're already cut the length, 84 inches I think we did. And we're going to be putting a little piece on both sides here. I think it's a 1x3, and then a little bit bigger piece, which is sitting right over here. They're going to be in the middle, in the top, the bottom, and on the end. We have some screws. We flipped it around this way. That way we can throw some screws in these wood. That way we don't see the screw on the other side. We don't have to worry about that. So let's go ahead and screw these end pieces on. We'll get some bigger pieces cut. We'll screw them in, insert them, and then we'll show you what it looks like in the front. Okay, we got this should be a complete door. Everything's screwed in from the behind. As you can see here, top, middle. Yeah, flip it over. We still have one more to do, but this one turned out pretty good. Let's see. Which way are you going? Oh, you're going the wrong way.
I always go to the left hand.
There we go.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it.
Yeah. All right, perfect.
Nice job.
We'll do a total cost to see how much we saved building the door versus, even though, like I said, I would have bought the door, but they don't make the door, so the size I need. So, no, it looks good. So let's go ahead. We'll tackle. We have more wood over there, more shiplap, I should say. More of the big stuff, 2 sides, and we're good to go. So let's go build the other one. All right, so we're back at it now with our doors. We're going to apply some of this Minwax penetrating wood finish stain. It is semi-transparent. It is a slate color. We're going to see what it looks like on here. We'll do the back first. That way, in case you don't like it, we can always change up. We'll also get a gauge of how many coats I'm going to need to get it to where we want it. So let's go ahead, slam some of this stain on and see what it looks like. So right away I'm looking, it has some kind of it has a blue hue to it, which maybe that's what slate is. So what I'm going to do, I don't want blue, so I'm going to do a little bit on here. Sometimes grays can look like blue. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm just going to apply a little bit to this scrap piece here. Probably should stir it a little bit, but kind of gauge and see what we think once it's done. Not sure if I like that. Probably hard to see on camera, but yeah, there's definitely blue. I'm not sure I like blue. Alright, we're down here on the ground, ready to start working on our panel board and trim. So I already took off vents. I finished taking off the trim, even the trim around the door here. And I don't know if I said this before, but we have a line, level line going all the way across the room. So the paneling, I know I said before, paneling is not going to sit all the way against the floor. So any measurements we do, we're going to do from the line down. Even, especially if you have a level line already, I mean, you want to do it from the line down instead of the floor up, because the floor actually is not level all the way around. So having a little bit of gap between the floor and the panel makes a lot of sense because of that, and it made a lot of sense for us because we were able to squeeze 3 panels instead of just 2 out of an 8-foot sheet. So anyways, I'm going to start with the hardest part first, and that is this wall right here. Now, if we measure it out, I already measured out from this corner to here, right around here is about 4 feet, which is fine. So what I'll end up doing is just cutting a notch out of the panel. I'm not going to go and if you want to be really anal about it, you could take these valves off, which means I would turn the water off, and the silver I could you know, bring that back as well, but it's behind the cabinet. It's really not that big of a deal. So I'm just going to notch out this section. Now this over here, even more of a reason to maybe take that off and turn the water off, take this valve off and get it right up against so that this cover piece would cover it. Also not going to do that, and that's really because the if I just notch this out from the top, so measure down and notch the bottom of it out, I'll be left with a little strip. Now this molding down here is going to be taller. I think it's 5 1/4 or so tall instead of the old molding, which is like 3. So the amount of space that you're going to see is about, I don't know, a couple inches. And the cuts that I make, and I'll fill that piece back in, the piece that I do cut out, I'm just going to caulk the cracks. It's going to get painted white anyways. It's what you would do, like, well, I shouldn't say that, but it is the easy way out. But it's behind the toilet. It's going to get caulked white. Nobody's going to see it. We may even paint this paneling white. We'll see what it looks like when we're done, but it just doesn't make any sense to do that, to go through all the pipe work to do all that. So and then you have potential leaks and when you put it back together. So again, not too concerned about that, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut this section, measure this out, cut it out from the bottom of this panel board, and then cut this notch here, and then we'll measure this out, this vent out, but we'll cut that out once the panel is installed. That way it's just easier to do it that way. But I'll make some measurements, I'll write them down over here, and then we'll cut that out once we get the panel up and against the wall. But all right, so let's stop talking, let's get this panel measured out, and then we'll go from there. All right, so far, this panel here, I messed up. We have 2 ends that weren't supposed to be together, which it's not the end of the world. And I don't understand why. Yeah, maybe they weren't supposed to be. I know they weren't supposed to be together, obviously. We got 2 rivets here, but one thing is that we'll have molding that goes on the top here, that comes down. The sink also comes up to here somewhere, and then you have the bowl, and you know, you won't see it, and obviously everything else will be underneath or behind the cabinet. So I'm not gonna waste money throwing that piece away, and I'll just continue on here. I'm okay with that. Another screw up, when I cut these boards at the Home Depot, I cut them a little short. So as you can see, this one's really bad. Missing the corner there, and missing a little bit of a corner there. I guess I wasn't thinking, in my head, I figured out I guess I measured wrong though. These are obviously wider than the old ones. So I screwed that up. I got it as best as I could. What I think I'm gonna do is some of the scrap I have from this piece, I'll try to make little pieces to fit and glue in there. And then obviously we're going to have to go around caulking all the cracks and stuff, which is typical, and all the nail holes. So we'll make that work. I'm not concerned about that. Just does suck. These boards are expensive, so it's not like I don't want to throw these away. We'll make it work. Again, make it work. I'm going to try to fit this piece in. I don't know. I am limited on the boards I have. I have one full sheet here, and then I have another full sheet outside, and then I have the piece that came, the rest of this piece. Hopefully it fits in here. If not, we'll just continue down this side, and then the rest of that would fit here, and maybe not here, but we'll see. But I think it might fit. I think it might fit. So let's go see. I'm gonna go out and see if this will fit. If it does, we'll cut this piece. If not, then we'll start working on this side here. Moving right along here, we have finished painting the top rail. We are going to paint the rest, but for now I just painted the top only because we're trying to kind of button this up for guests later today. So I just wanted to paint that real quick, and then we'll go back and paint. It is a little off with the color, so we'll come back and paint the wall and the baseboard with the same paint as well. But now what we're going to do is mount our doors, our barn doors. So basically what I have to do is get this track and position that up above, and I think the instructions said 1 11/16. I'll have to reread that. Taller than the door. So we'll position that, mark our holes, and then we'll use some wall anchors if we have to. I think I am going to hit, at least on the ends, the studs there. So we should be good to hold that, and then the wall anchors obviously will do it well as well. So let's go ahead and position that wall anchor, or position that beam, and then we'll mark the holes and drill them out. All right, so we're gonna get into installing our barn doors here. So we do have the hardware kit. These two guys here, they're gonna be placed somewhere along there, if you can see that, on each side. And So, but in order to do that, there's specific instructions here on exactly where to place these holes on the door, and that's so that you keep it square and they line up evenly. So what we're going to do is go ahead and drill this hole for these hangers and then install them, and then we can go inside and install it on the inside door there while the paint's drying. So all right, yeah, let's get to it. Really tell you where these spacers are supposed to be. They just said to loosely put them on, but clearly I'm gonna have to adjust these two because it won't let it close all the way. I'm gonna have to adjust it to line up with the back anchor or the back holder of the door here, because if I don't, then they won't shut completely. So the last thing we have to do is this sink. As you can see, I just threw this in there. We're going to have to connect those into the hot and cold here, and then also connect the drain once we get the bowl set on. So let's go ahead and tackle that now. So we are finished up here. It's a couple days later, and we had to go out and buy a new, longer drain pipe here, and we also had to extend this drain pipe back here. I don't think you can see it too well because of the light. Fortunately, I'm sorry, but yeah. But everything's pretty much buttoned up. It's not much to it. Anybody who, you know, just gotta make sure your gaskets are all in and, you know, tighten them up and should be good to go. So that's squared away. We'll put these drawers back and then we'll show you the rest of the room. These drawers are back and yeah, we're pretty much done. So we went ahead and finished off the painted everything with the white paint that matched this trim here. We caulked around the top, did some touch-up paint work, which I had to do. Still probably have a couple spots to do, but went ahead and took out this bar towel railing here, fixed up our blind situation. They were stacked pretty high. Actually, I don't even know if I showed you, we added this blind, took off the shutters here. Again, barn doors, looks great. We added our little holders here, so everything shuts. So they shut pretty well, and we had to make a little bit of an adjustment here because there wasn't enough a gap to have the two doors kind of have these two. They're supposed to have one here to stop this side and then one over here to stop this side, but because these doors are so tight, the way that we had them made, I couldn't really move these over anymore, and I wouldn't have anyway because I'd already drilled those holes. So we went with just this one, and honestly, it works fine. I know I don't have this here to connect to that, but or to stop that, but the other end of that does a pretty good job of it. So we just went with that. It actually fits in there really well. What are you gonna do? So this whole barn door situation kind of just stunk. If you're looking for a 15-inch or two 15-inch barn doors to open like this, you know, if there's a better option, I would take it. But it did turn out really well. I wouldn't say to not do it in this situation. I think it is still the best option for this particular situation due to the door here. You could have did a bifold, but I do think that this was probably the best, and it looks, you know, barn doors are the in thing now, so it looks pretty good. So but anyway, going around, we did fix up our corners. If you saw earlier in the video, again, I just cut little pieces, filled them in, used a little bit of caulk, some glue, and painted it. You can't tell that we had cut those a little bit short, which is good. But yeah, kind of all the way around the room, and that's pretty much it. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video and this series. This bathroom is done. It's all done for all intents and purposes. I do have a couple little things here and there, but yeah, that's pretty much it. We made some huge progress with this. We made a lot of changes. It's all stuff that we did with ourselves. Nothing too difficult to do. Something that any one of you can do, as long as you have the tools available to you. None of this was really hard, but it really changed the way the look and feel of this bathroom has. And it also gave us a ton of space in the closet. So yeah, very useful stuff. So but yeah, so if you like what you saw, please hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications for other things similar to projects like this, projects on cars. We have some pretty epic stuff going on, so subscribe, turn on post notifications, comment down below what you think, what you think of the bathroom overall, the changes that we made, and what you think of, if there's anything you would change or anything in comments, any suggestions, post it down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So until the next project comes along, I will catch you guys next time. Later.